So, as all you guys probably already know, this Thursday is the Texans' first preseason game against the Green Bay Packers. I mean, it's preseason football, yeah, but I mean, at least it's something. Now, we already know preseason football, it's pretty boring aside from probably the third game, well, the first half of the third game, because starters play, for the most part, a whole half. So besides that game, you know, in the first game, starters only play like a drive or two. Second game, same thing. And then fourth game, it's just all the backups. So preseason isn't really that fun of a thing to watch. You know, it's fun to get excited about preseason because it means football is almost back. But once you actually get to watching the games, you're like, man, this is bad. But, you know, at least it's still football. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you guys and myself a reason to watch this game and what to look out for. You know, the players you got to look out for, the competition and stuff. And, yeah, you know, so we're not there bored just watching the game. Whenever the game comes on, we'll have something to pay attention to. Now, let's start off with, obviously, Deshaun Watson. All over OTAs, training camp, mini camp, and all that fun stuff. People are saying Deshaun Watson looks way better this year. Now, keep in mind, preseason football, it's vanilla defenses, vanilla offenses, but, you know, still, we get to see Deshaun Watson again. So, you know, anytime we get to see Deshaun Watson, you know, just watch Deshaun Watson. He's fun to watch, so there's that. Now, this next thing, I think it's going to be really fun to watch because you can pretty much watch this all game. And that's the running back competition. You guys know, the Texans cut Foreman or waived Foreman. Now they have open slots at the running back spot pretty much everywhere besides starter. They don't have a second running back. They don't have a third running back. They don't have a fourth running back because usually they like to carry multiple running backs. So, look at the running back competition. You know, Crockett, Ferguson, Higdon, Tyron Johnson, Buddy Howell. All these guys are capable of making the roster, of course. I would prefer they go and get someone else. You know, not Melvin Gordon. I do not want Melvin Gordon. I would prefer they go out there and get someone else. Someone with experience. Someone that can be that backup running back to Lamar Miller, because, you know, relying on undrafted rookies, late round picks, that's questionable, man. That's really questionable because you don't know how these guys are going to turn out. Like, you're hoping to find the next Arian Foster, but the odds of you finding the next Arian Foster are pretty slim to none, especially when last year, you know, the Broncos found Phillip Lindsay. Like, it's not every single year you're going to find an undrafted gem at running back. You know, maybe the Texans get lucky, maybe they don't, but I feel like it's better to be prepared rather than to go into the season and have these guys that don't know what they're doing running around, you know? But still, watch for that running back competition. Should be fun to watch. Like I said, from the moment Miller steps off the field, probably, you know, middle of the first quarter, all the way to the end of the game, you're going to be watching all these guys play. So just watch the running backs. Odds are, you know, the running back you're watching has a good chance of making the roster. Now the next thing, wide receiver competition. It's really just between two guys, in my opinion. You know, you could argue Johnny Dixon, but I haven't really heard much about him in camp. The person I have been hearing a lot of stuff coming out of camp is Tyron Johnson. At this point, it's Tyron Johnson versus Vincent Smith for that fifth wide receiver spot. Can they carry 6 wide receivers? Absolutely, but the Texans usually, to start the season, tend to carry 5 wide receivers. So, it's Vincent Smith versus Tyron Johnson. I doubt D-Hop is going to play. You know, hopefully Fuller don't play either. So, maybe these guys get an early look with Deshaun out there. And we finally get to just take a look at Tyron Johnson. You guys know, the guy's had hype around him since rookie minicamp. Rookie minicamp. Think about that. Like way back, like a week after the draft. Usually when, hype starts to build up in rookie minicamp, like it kind of sizzles down throughout, OTAs and training camp, but Tyron Johnson's been able to keep it up. I mean, every time you read anything about the Texans training camp, usually you'll see something about Tyron Johnson doing good. Now we finally get to actually see him out there on the field against another team. Let's see how he does. Hopefully he doesn't end up being another one of those camp stars like Lestar Jean. I remember Lestar Jean. The guy was like a training camp star and all that stuff, but once it came down to it, the guy never really did anything with the team. So hopefully it's not one of those situations with Tyron Johnson, because I am pretty hyped to see him out there finally. Now the next thing, tight ends. You guys have heard Jordan Thomas was doing amazing. Even Jordan Akins, the old guy, yes, apparently he's been doing amazing too. Then there's Waring as well. The thing about Waring is he had all this hype around him during OTAs, but hasn't really been able to participate much in training camp due to injuries. So that's really unfortunate. I do think he'll play this game, the first preseason game. At least I'm hoping for, because I really want to see him. Like, when he was out there, everybody was saying good things about him. They were saying, oh, he's like the best draft pick from the Texans this year. And then there's also Darren Fells, the guy we picked up in free agency. I haven't really heard much about him, but he was really just brought in here to be a blocker. So there is that. Let's see how he does out there. Now let's move on to the O-line. Obviously, have to pay attention to the O-line, because the O-line is arguably our worst unit out there. You got to pay attention to, like, pretty much almost everything. There's like 9 guys you got to pay attention to. There's, obviously Matt Khalil. I don't like the guy. Apparently he was doing good, but like a few days ago he went up against J.J. Watt, and J.J. Watt completely embarrassed him. So let's see how Matt Khalil does. Obviously Titus Howard, our first round pick. He's been playing left guard, playing left tackle, trying to ease him in. I know some people are pissed that he's playing left guard. Guys, he's our future left tackle. Usually teams tend to play left tackles at left guard to get their feet wet in the NFL. Think of the best left tackle in the NFL right now. David Bakhtiari from Green Bay. He played left guard and they moved him to left tackle. That's what they're doing with Titus Howard. Now, I'm not saying it's a good plan. I think it's not that good of a plan, because Matt Khalil is your left tackle. You're kind of, he's your left tackle. He's injury prone. He's not good. At some point, Matt Khalil's going to be on the bench. That's what I'm trying to say. So at some point, Titus Howard is going to be your starting left tackle this season. And he should be getting reps at left tackle like all day, every day, instead of getting reps at left guard. Maybe it can help him, but it's just something I wouldn't really do when you have Matt Khalil as your left tackle. Now the center. Nick Martin's been nursing an injury, so, Greg Manx is your starting center. Hopefully he doesn't mess anything up. Right guard, Zach Fulton. Right tackle, Shantro Henderson, unfortunately. And then, you've got young guys like Martinez Rankin. Haven't heard much about him from training camp. Hopefully, we get to see him out there for an extended time and see how he does. And, of course, Max Sharping. Apparently, he's like kind of been up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm assuming he's going to take like second team reps as the right guard, and then he'll probably take third team reps as a right tackle. I don't know the combination they're going to go with as offensive line, but hopefully, they do the right things. Hopefully, Titus Howard and Max Sharping, and hopefully Martinez Rankin, the 3 young guys on our O-line, hopefully they all get a lot of reps. And considering the Texans are currently, having joint practices with the Packers, it's very possible that a lot of these starting players don't play in the first preseason game. They'll just let the younger guys, the guys that need to, earn their roster spot still, play. Let those guys play and see how they do. Now, defensive line, there's only one guy I really want to see, and that is Charles Omenihu. You know, our, what was it, 5th round pick this year, I believe it was. You know, I gotta look out for him. Apparently he's been like doing pretty good as well, so let's see how he does out there in, you know, real game live action. And then there's the corners. You know, Bradley Roby, is he gonna play? How much is he gonna play? You know, I'm curious to watch him. You guys know me. Didn't like the signing, but still, you know, we have to see how he does. And then there's Lonnie Johnson. I think this is probably the most important one of this group. I mean, 2nd round pick. He's been up and down pretty much everywhere. OTAs, training camp. He has good moments, bad moments, but that's okay with a rookie. So, you know, watch out for him. I'm assuming he's going to play a lot this game. At least I hope he plays a lot. And then there's Aaron Colvin, Breon Body Calhoun as well. Jermaine Kelly, Xavier Crawford. You know, really this cornerback group, there's more to be desired. Hopefully, you know, someone shows something. And then, you know, safeties, Deshaun Gibson, new guy. I'm not sure how much he'll play, if he even plays, honestly. But if he's out there, just pay attention to him, too, because he is a new guy. And then the last thing, John Weeks. That's right, John Weeks is probably going to be snapping the football all night long. So definitely, when there's a special team moment, you know, look at that long snapper, because John Weeks has been playing for 10 years in the NFL, guys. So never know when it might be the last time we see John Weeks out there in Texans uniform. So, you know, don't take him for granted, and enjoy him while you still can. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. Be sure to like, comment if I missed anything, like if there's something else you think I should be paying attention to during this game. And yeah, be sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.